the Fallout.
Mine
Sure.
is called Discord for this one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's better.
Maybe I'll steal it.
Mine is
Right.
Well, now that you said that it was better, I'm not going to.
We're up and running again. Stream is healthy. Character relationships less so.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything? Did
just lots of
Declan
meta
apologize
talk.
sobbing?
Did Declan what?
Apologize sobbing.
Oh yes, totally.
No, we just had some more meta things, and we told Dylan that we love Declan, and I may have done a scary voice saying that he can't let Declan leave, but we'll see how that goes in convincing him.
Right. Well,
I don't know. It's tricky for me personally.
I know. Probably a sad goal. Don't make me sad. Make her glad.
so you all retire to your various rooms and whatnot. I think all maybe a little bit sore, both emotionally and physically.
Do we reopen the Mirage when we go to retire? Or is it closed for the evening?
I mean, Declan's not going to stop you. He's going to go downstairs.
No,
We
I
need
just
that money,
mean-
yo.
Yeah, I just mean, are we gonna make some money?
We need that money, yo.
Yeah, okay.
We got bills to pay. We got mouths to feed.
Isn't that a song?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing in the
KG.
world.
Ain't no rest for the
Oh, wicked.
Yeah.
The
Money don't
virtues.
grow on trees.
Ain't no rest for the virtuous. That's
You.
I like it, Dan. So you can open it or close it if you like.
Open it.
Okay.
Maku does not care and goes upstairs.
Okay. So it's open. Smear is brought back. Smear. I'm doing that C thing. Smear is brought back after Shugor goes looking for him. And the bar is reopened. And you're able to make a little bit of money. I think it's been, I want to say 3 nights since you last collected revenue.
No, we collected revenue right before we. Oh wait, yes. No.
Well,
Hold
there was
on.
potion shopping, I thought, right
Yeah.
before we
Oh.
went to the villa. And that was when it was
So
talked
it's
about.
just
Yeah.
it's just
This
tonight,
night.
basically. Okay.
And any hand waving in
After
the
that.
future. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ashmina is going to get a bath, and then she's going to go to bed.
After Declan goes downstairs, Makuda's just going to put one heavy shoulder on Bryn. One heavy hand on her shoulder and go, as long as you don't kill anyone I care about, do whatever you want. And he'll start turning away.
And don't kill anyone that doesn't deserve it.
That too. If you do, I'll catch up to you.
But Ashmina will kind of say to Bryn, there are no hard feelings between us, yes?
No. I mean, I get it. I really do. I understand. He's a man of the principle. He's a good guy.
It is from mutual trust and this understanding and respect is where our relationships will all grow. We all have the respect. You still have my trust, Brynhild. We must all try to be worthy of each other, yes? I know I have my own flaws. We all do. Do not let them weigh you.
I wasn't lying when I said I don't even recognize that person anymore. I mean, it wasn't even that long ago. But, I mean, I spent so much time trying to find my mother. I did so many things.
It was a difficult time for us all. That mine and that the ship and the mine it did things to us all. And Nabrashmina will just kind of pull Bryn into a hug. I think she's taller than Bryn.
Maybe.
Like Abrashmina is, I think, 5'10", is what I've said.
Yeah, you've previously said 5'10".
Yeah.
I think we've said in the past that average mean is like an inch or two taller than Bryn.
I think she's like 2 inches taller than Bryn, so yeah.
Yeah, so she like pulls you into a hug and like does like, you know, the chin on the shoulder thing for like a second.
Hopefully he stays. But if he doesn't, we've done all we could.
Yes. Hopefully he stays. I do not think that our paths are done journeying together. At least not for now.
We've
But
got
who
some.
knows? I could be wrong.
I don't know.
It will be what it is meant to be.
He's spending a lot of time worrying about being a good person. Whatever that means to him. He's so focused on not being whoever he was before.
He has seen the darkest side of himself, and he is hell-bent to make sure that he does not slip again.
I've seen people like that.
He will hold on to it white-knuckled and bare gritted teeth till the bitter end.
When they fall. And he'll fall if he's not careful. It could be ugly.
No. I pray that we never see the day that a man like Declan would be driven to that point. We shall do all we can to make sure it does not come to that, yes?
Are you asking me if I'll ever do that again?
I am. We all must be what we can to make ourselves better, to make each other better.
Do you want to know if I'll ever do that again?
No, I do not need to.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go get a bath.
Abrashmina will nod. Give your shoulders a little squeeze. And then head up to her room.
I'm just gonna go down to Declan. What's he up to?
He's probably, the door's not locked or anything. He's probably got like a fencing dummy set up, and he's just practicing like sword forms, just trying to clear his mind.
Okay. Mackie's gonna like head down, probably maybe hammer banging on each step, and then he's gonna just stand there for a bit while you stab and riposte and parry this dummy.
Akud.
He slowly turns to you. And words like struggle to form. I have opened a lot of people up. Not in the way that you said you have. But I've done it in front of a cheering crowd. People have died. People have lived. People have not been whole. If you are worried about returning to that, I can stop you. I sit out there, and he like points up towards the bar. When you and Mina and Bryn bring our trophies home, we bring these people that have done wrong, that still breathe. And you want answers, because it will help. And I sit up there, because that is not what I do. I defeat those who are in front of me, where they can still hold their blade. And when they're on the ground, they are defeated. And then I turn away. Makes living easier. And he kind of like licks his teeth, kind of thoughtfully pondering the next kind of question, just kind of like almost grinding his tongue against them. You don't have to do that. I've never had to ask the people that I've defeated questions. You can do without it if you want. I can stop you from coming down here. We're in that room, and he kind of like there's a twitch of the mane in the six eyes. I can hold you from the abyss.
Thank you, Makut.
He's like trying to be insightful about
Yeah.
whether those words did things that he
I
was
mean,
hoping.
Declan's definitely listening very sincerely.
Okay.
He's definitely not dismissing him.
Okay. Well, he believes he did what he came here to do, and he'll give you like a heavy pat on the back. And he'll drag the hammer to like the base of the stairs. Shot that dummy. And he was gonna say no mercy, and then like you see him like correcting himself. Mercy.
You did promise me a sparring match once.
He like turns to you, and there's still possibly crossbow bolts in him somewhere. Like sort of 16 hit points.
Perhaps not right now.
We can spar. But knowing you, you'd want it to be a fair fight.
I would not have you at a disadvantage.
And maybe he like pulls out or breaks off a crossbow bolt that is like still left in him somewhere. See you in the morning. And he just like tosses it not at you but like down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And drags his hammer back up again and goes to bed.
And could someone please roll me a D100?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Woohoo!
I'm doing it. Hold on. Do it again. 62.
Okay, so that is 620 gold you make tonight. Despite the late opening, the Mirage is kind of pretty busy actually once it gets going, though your doors do an adequate job of keeping the sound out as your little money-making machine below works itself.
That's 155 gold to everyone.
Rich bitch.
52 gold, you said? 152?
152.
Okay.
155.
Okay.
Sorry. I was like, no, I didn't say 2, did I? Like, I hope I didn't say 2 because I totally put down 5. And so then I had to double check my calculator.
And so morning comes around. Tolox is kind of sweeping up and cleaning off. breakfast is being served downstairs, and the smell of cooking meat and eggs kind of wafts up towards you. You're awake, probably very much in pain, still aching, maybe except Declan.
So I would have been up early to continue Ethan's training.
Sure. What would you like to do with this day?
Abrashminas would like to sleep in because 15 hit points is a hell of a way to be.
Yeah.
Eventually, she'll come downstairs for breakfast. Are we wanting to? It's like we have like a few days before we have to deal with the pot hydra thing.
Yeah, so it's 4 days, I believe, from now, ish. But that sort of depends on what everyone's next steps are in the immediate future.
So I think it makes sense, even if I don't know what I want to do with the character right this second, to continue playing as if Declan's going to be here for the Hydra fight. So I think Declan right now is he's taking his time to really think about what he wants and what he thinks is right.
Okay.
So I think we should keep playing as and play towards the pot Hydra fight.
Okay. We did a little bit of preparation in regards to potions and stuff. The only other bit of business that Abrashmina has is at some point at the end of the week, like maybe the day before the pot hydra fight, she needs to go retrieve the book from Mitha.
Yep.
To return it to the library. And then there's like some boring shopping stuff that she wants to do.
Okay.
Plot wise, I think like we could do some more investigation on like this Riga character and like the Black Cloaks or whatever. But I am for just hand waving to pot hydra fight unless there's like something immediately that we can think of that we can do for Riga investigations and stuff.
Did I have enough time to develop my anti-mind control drugs?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe you already had made some.
I had rolled them and it was successful.
Oh,
I was
yes.
going to get them
And
at
you
the
were sort
end
of in
the
the
week.
process. Yeah. So you'll finish those kind of the day before the pot hydra fight.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think you've also got some stuff with Thela, I believe. Like some stuff.
Yeah,
being
she's
enchanted.
enchanting my tools.
Yeah, so that will all finish as well. Before then.
I have another week on my breastplate because I don't think I can, unless I could go and convince him to finish it before the pot hydra fight, but I'm not sure if I can. If that's... Maybe I could convince him to work faster, but I'm not sure.
If you give him an extra 250 gold, he'll finish it before the fight.
So it'd be like 650 total to pay him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. And that's because there's also some more shopping that I want to do because I would like to get 4 ID strips that are worth 400 or 50 gold apiece.
Mm-hmm.
And lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of incense. I don't know if maybe it might be cheaper if I see if Maya and Thal will go raid a temple storehouse for me rather than paying wholesale. And then I also probably won't have the money for it, but a tool in which to scry with. I'm not sure if I have anything.
Well, there's 4 more nights to the... Or 3 more nights to the pot hydra fight, which is 3 more D100 revenues.
Well, I don't want to take up... Well, okay, maybe I'll get enough. But I definitely want to. Oh, yeah, Jane.
I just want to get my necklace of fireballs recharged.
Mm-hmm. That's done.
How much is that going to cost me?
Let me just check.
Oh,
You know, in case we need it for an emergency.
Mhm.
um, but yeah, if it's just 650 gold and I can have a +1 breastplate, then no, is that what it was? Yeah, or no, it was I
A
could have,
breastplate, but without the disadvantages.
or no, it was a breastplate, but it didn't have the dex mod
Yeah.
limit.
And
Yeah,
it doesn't have the disadvantages. Like
breastplates don't have disadvantage. yeah.
Recharge is 10 gold a charge.
Woohoo!
Yeah, she can do
It's pretty
that.
cheap for a fireball.
I know, right? Don't tell me this. I was thinking it was like 100 gold. I was like, being more judicious.
It's a good price.
So is that 17 all up or something?
But I got 80.
80. Okay, cool.
Let me take this out of my gold. I'm gonna start using this more often, guys.
I know.
What have you done?
Sorry, I'm trying to find.
Thinking about tiny hut on a thing.
I mean, I'm always thinking about a tiny hut.
Hoot.
I mean, that would be super good for after the pot hydra fight, unless you get a minute to prepare something. And
No, I mean I don't. I
mean-
just the spell slot is trying to. There's a spell choice is what we're trying to free up for me.
Yeah,
okay,
because we were talking about you doing that before all this. That could be something
Yeah.
that you could get going. You know that her stuff is, free from the shenanigans.
Yeah.
My AC is now 19, you guys.
Okay. A question I have.
Uh-huh.
In these 4 days, would you like... You mentioned doing research on Riga. What specifically would you like to be doing?
Which one's Riga again?
The guy that
New
cleared out
crime
the yeah.
Wait, what?
The guy,
Did you just say she?
What?
Oh, I thought I heard someone start to describe Riga
Yeah.
as a she, and I was like, wait, Rob, did you just say she?
no.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Riga's the guy that took care of the bodies after Bren killed the guys.
Right. Okay.
The black cloaks
yeah.
that tried to kill. That has
Yeah.
all of us on a hit list, dude. My dude.
Right,
Yeah.
Right,
Did
right.
we ask anyone in the Six Eyes about it?
No, we
Well,
asked.
that's-
I asked Eli, but he might not have been.
Privy to any higher up information?
Yeah. So Declan would use the next 4 nights. You know, during the day he's working on potions. During the evenings he's trying to find out about Riga.
Okay.
Okay. Can we finish up like shoppy things?
Yeah, sorry.
I
I thought they were done.
Well, I said what I wanted, but that doesn't mean I did them. Sorry. So I could just spend 200 gold and get my ivy strips.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I need how much? I should have. How much do I need? I need. Okay, I might have to wait a few days because I need 250 gold worth of incense. So unless I can get that on the cheap from someone stealing me some.
I mean,
You could ask
did we
for a
roll any
loan.
profits? Just
No, yeah. I'm trying to do my stuff before. Yeah, I'll need some profit rolls, I guess, before I can go completely shopping. So I guess I'll shut up about Declan
So
doing
yeah, if everyone
the
then but
things.
Dylan, because you roll one before, roll me a d100.
we're rolling 3. Okay. Uh, I got 29.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Oof.
Okay.
Oh wait, did you want
Slow
me to?
day at the Mirage.
I guess.
Everybody
It's
was just coming in.
105.
That's 50.
Sold
Is
like
that
one
all of
bottle
them?
of mine one.
What did you get, Jade?
Oh, I haven't rolled yet. 45.
Okay. So 790. I make that.
That's 197 and 5 silver.
Well,
Okay.
with 3 rolls, you managed to get less. You managed to get an amount that's easily possible with just 1 roll.
Yep.
You guys
Yep.
are running a rubbish
No.
in.
They had heard that there was something going down. There was some kind of ruckus, and they were coming in to see if they could see any like residual tension.
Yeah. On that day
Okay.
that C rolled, Smith forgot to turn the sign around.
um. So, I need 250 gold worth of incense. Does Abershmina have the connections to get that at a discount? Because she's a cleric, or like
I mean, she's a cleric who burned all her bridges, so
Yeah.
being a
I'd say
cleric
like
has
building
nothing
house
to
for
do with
temple.
it.
huh? Or use my anthol to like.
Yeah. So my and Thal would steal you some if you ask them.
And even if you
How
don't
much-
ask them, they'll steal for you.
Yeah. How much can they obtain for me?
How much do you need?
I need as much as they can give me, but at least 250 gold
Okay.
worth. She
Yeah.
needs some bricks of incense.
They could totes get out with a crate. Because they got a bag of holding.
Oh,
roll me
great.
a d20. See?
A D20. All right.
Yeah.
Get these rolls out of the way now before the fight. That's an 8.
Okay. Let me just check something here. An 8, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they returned to you. There was a little bit of trouble collecting everything, but they managed to make it out. As you just rolled my stealth roll for that.
Oh fuck!
But she's got a plus 11, so she was fine.
Still.
And so yeah, you've got a crate of
She,
about
like-
500 golds worth of incense.
Oh, nice.
But
Okay.
you owe them a favor.
Oh yay!
Okay.
Is it, another one? Okay, because I took care of the first one.
Yeah.
I am okay with owing them a favor. I thought of something else that I want to do, but it can wait because it's going to be near the end of the week whenever I go back to
Yeah, you've done quite a lot, but what was it?
Yeah. It's going to involve a conversation with the Bell Witch. So...
Okay. Yeah, we might save that.
Yeah.
Furthermore, I would just like to add, you don't see Eli for any of these 4 days.
Oh, so that's one thing. I would tell Abershmina at some point. Probably later that evening. I forgot about it, but Declan would not have. That I saw him jumping fences and heading into the slums in a suspicious fashion.
So just to clarify as well, he wasn't really heading. He was kind of heading in the same direction as you guys. Like vaguely southward. So he was in more of the wealthier middle class territory,
Okay.
not necessarily the slums. Just
Abarashmina will kind of nod and say, "Yes, I saw him too." Because meta-wise, I was informed after the fact that Mina's passive perception was high enough to see him.
Okay.
So,
Well, good.
but yeah, after not hearing from him, after like that first night, the next night she would send him a message
okay.
to make sure that everything is all right. Uh, Obviously, that doesn't change that he doesn't come around for like the next few days, but
No. Well,
so
what
we
did
don't
you
have
say in
to
the
put,
message?
um wanting to make sure that everything is all right. Had a bit of a run-in with Hashemi. I saw you in the area that day, and that will be where she leaves it.
Okay. He'll
Hugs
just
and kisses.
reply.
Hugs and kisses.
He'll just reply saying everything's all right. Just working a job at the moment, but well, I hope you gave Shami a good hiding. I'll speak to you when I get back.
And she'll send another message that is basically conveying like, "Okay, have a good time in the job. I'll see you when you're free," and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. What's Makud trying to get accomplished?
Drinking.
Honestly, not sure he has any goals. I'm not sure he has anything that was to be enchanted by the magical pot that I can remember. I don't think he needs to buy anything.
He's just making a vision board of him killing a Hydra.
Maybe. He heals up after that first
Yeah.
night. Probably sleeps in. If no one comes for him, he probably doesn't even really come down. Until like much later when people are gone or something. After the Hashemi thing, he's a bit gun shy or whatever. Doesn't really want to go out and talk to Sharat or people. He's had enough of people and their words after that whole discussion thing. So I think he would spend some time with Jahir.
Jari.
Jari. I always think it's the other way round
Yeah.
in my mind.
These
And the
are not
Wyvern.
easy names. Yeah, don't worry.
But I don't imagine there's much talking, which I presume Jari appreciates.
Yeah.
And I guess he doesn't really accomplish. If no one really comes to him or wants anything from him, and there's no life or death fights or decisions, it just doesn't really do anything
Cool.
constructive.
Yeah.
Bryn,
Yes.
what are you up to?
I think Bryn would definitely make sure that Madar and Holly and her mother were invited to come watch the awesome pot Hydra fight.
Hell yeah.
And make sure that they had, good VIP seats.
Yeah, that's easy to sort out.
And then the necklace thing. And then we had talked about wanting to get something enchanted with Honey Hut. Or we
100%.
the Neva Beetle.
Let's see. Abara Shmina has. It can't already be magical, but maybe a blanket with tiny hut on it. Like we unroll the blanket and
Like a bedroll or
You're
something
really
like that.
in like an Arabian themed game gonna take a blanket and make it magical in a way that
Yes.
not flying.
Yeah.
Well, you can come later.
or a
Fly
lantern
tiny
or
hut.
a tinder box or something. Like Abara Shmina has a sensor that could light up and make the dome. If you want to use that.
Like a Geiger counter.
Something like that. And we can just keep it in the bag of holding. We have at least one now, I think. Two?
Two.
Two.
Makud got one.
What would the cost be on something like that?
Making me look at my goddamn notes again.
It's a 3rd level spell, if that helps you.
Yes. That's gonna be 450 gold plus material components.
Or the material components on the spell?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so if it's like 1,000 gold worth of diamond dust, then you got to pay that as well.
It's just a small crystal bead.
Okay. I'm sure you have that.
Yep. So 450 gold?
Yes, please.
Alright. Is there a spell fail chance? I've heard.
There is, yeah.
so how does that go then?
Yeah.
Well, I was wanting to see if Bryn was going to try and help or not.
Yeah. Because Bryn knows the spell, so.
Yeah. Okay. Then, can you roll me a d20 with advantage, please?
That is a 16.
Okay. So, it is going to take a week or so to
Okay.
make. So, you won't have it, for a little while. But the enchantment does take, and you will have an object of Lehman's tiny hut.
Yes. We just throw it on the ground and it springs up like those spring up tents.
Yeah. You also got
That was
food.
on a rogue, right?
I think a rug probably makes the most sense. Or like a blanket or something.
On a blanket, okay. And we have that after the pot hydra fight.
Yeah, we're not really going to need it for the pot hydra fight.
No, not really.
Unless one of you wants to cast teleportation circle while we're...
What if you throw the thing in the pot hydra's mouth and then it like
I
opens
mean-
and you explode his head with a tent?
I mean,
Yeah, destroy
you
Hydra
can-
heads. Good.
Yeah, Jake, you
Good
can
strat.
cast it as an action. So, and it only takes an action to cast. So that is a viable option for you to do in the middle of a pot
There
hydra
you
fight.
go.
I don't know why you're throwing shade on it.
I'm not throwing shade! Oh
I
my
mean,
god!
you have to stay in the hut, right? I don't know why that
Yeah.
has become a thing with like the I never thought that you had to stay in the hut to keep it up, but because it says it lasts for the duration, so. But anyway.
Yeah,
Makes
and
it
other than that, I think Bryn would definitely go back to her roving ways of playing different places.
Yeah. You won't have
probably
much
inviting-
time for that.
Yeah.
Because it will take a fair portion of time to help Thela.
And then invite Madar along just to,
Yeah.
you know, and kind of keep an ear out to if there's anything about Riga or the Black Cloaks or any of that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
so I was gonna bring that up with regards to Declan. So Declan, can you make me a quick investigation check? Bryn, you can as well.
You betcha, buddy. It's an 18 on the die. That's pretty good.
Oh, that was almost
I
so
think I have
good.
like a plus 10. Hold on. Ooh, buddy. Sorry, flipping windows on my phone is laggy.
No problem.
Here we go. Investigation's plus 11 now, which makes it a 29.
Okay, goddamn.
And I got a 17, so.
Yeah, so Bryn, you
It's pretty
don't,
good, Jade, but you know.
I know, man.
you don't hear much, Bryn. You do, see the occasional black cloak around, and they seem to be definitely in the skeevier parts of town. Though, on one of your nightly escapades, Declan, you do, and I won't play this out just because we're sort of speeding towards Pot Hydra. You do hear, or overhear, a conversation between two thuggish types who are discussing going to work for the Black Cloaks, sort of weighing up their options and saying how all of them seem to be getting really rich, and that maybe they'll join up. And you hear
Did they
one of
mention
them.
like a location?
Yeah, so you hear one of them mention that if you want to join, you're supposed to go up and there's a particular sort of torch sconce lamppost kind of thing up in the temple district or the palace district, the very, very rich area where all the Shals live. And you're supposed to just lean against this lamppost that he describes, you know, which street it's on. And if you do that around midnight, someone will come and see if you got what it takes.
So I understand. He's described. So I was picturing like a trick lamppost that opens a wall, but that's not what you're saying. You just lean into the lamppost and
Yeah.
somebody sees you and comes talks to you. Okay.
So it's like, you know, lifting the trousers in masonry.
And we have gotten information which leads us to believe that Riga and the Black Cloaks are connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the dead person who
Right.
said that he worked for
But
Riga.
we haven't connected those that to the guys who cleaned up after the scummies.
No, we have.
Okay, we have.
Yeah.
How do we
Didn't you ask your veteran pirate friend guy in a bubble? And he said basically that they did the cleanup job and that he wouldn't rat out his boss.
Right, but he didn't actually tell me who it was. We don't know that he's one of the Black Cloaks.
Hold on. I know we made that connection. Let me look.
I can't remember the exact notes, but I think the general idea was that there was a new boss in town, that he worked for him and he wasn't going to put him out, and that he cleaned up the thing.
I remember him mentioning Regan by name. I'm pretty sure.
He did. Oh, okay.
I think so, because that's how you sort of heard the name Riga. I could just be...
Yeah, because we heard Riga before we questioned the dead man.
Yeah.
So we got the
name.
name.
You want to question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, no, I think you got it from the note left by Fahar. Let me look. I'm looking
at
the
dead
notes.
drop.
No, that is someone else. Yeah, I think so.
I don't actually remember making the connection that Riga and the Black Cloaks are connected to the cleanup. There was the guy by the dock when I was observing the ship, and he told me about the cleanup, but he wouldn't reveal his boss. And then there was the guys we spoke to after Makood's fight that said Riga was the leader of the Black Cloaks, but I don't think there was anything to connect Declan there yet.
Right. No. Yeah, you're right. There wasn't.
Yeah.
I think that was just our jump.
I think we all are kind of metagaming that a little bit, but I don't think that actually happened in game.
Yes. No, you are correct, sir. Because he refused to give up that name.
I mean, it seems probable.
Hanan al-Sasay
Sure.
refused to give up the name, and then the dead drop just mentioned Scriven on the docks, which is something that you haven't followed up on. ET Dubs.
Yeah, speaking of the docks, that whole let's go fucking raid the preacher's bank account idea.
Right, that was a whole other thing we were gonna do. But I think we were planning on doing that after the pod hydra.
Yeah, whatever. We can decide.
I wouldn't mind doing that sometime.
Yeah. I mean, it will involve killing Barakados again. So if we're in for more of what we just went through, yeah.
Sure, we got this. We don't got this.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how Declan feels about, like, you know, knowing that those are the type of people that you have to kill to get past.
I mean, Declan could get in there by himself and not kill anybody.
But then
what, you're going to empty the bank account by yourself while we sit here?
Well, obviously, for better reasons, I would not do that.
Sure.
But that, you know, that's the logic I have to wrestle with.
Even if you empty the bank, though, you haven't necessarily stopped it continuing. If they've still got protection, they've still got money in, they might just lie that they have money and it just keeps proliferating if you don't smash the whole thing. So there's one thing to be said for sneaking in there and taking the money, which will
Or
hurt
burn
them.
the ship.
Sure.
Gives everybody a chance to get off.
You guys did a great job of that last time.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It was a perfect plan last time.
It was perfectly executed, flawless. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm wrestling. Declan's wrestling. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I don't think that's something to do.
We don't have to do that this session. For sure.
Yeah.
Very well then. The day comes. Unless there's anything else we'd like to do before.
Yeah. Gonna go to the Bell Witch before we go to the Pot Hydra, because if I die fighting a Pot Hydra, the book won't go back to the library, so that has to be done before.
And the fines. Won't someone think of the fines?
Yes, Abrashmina does not want his blight upon her record at the Great Library.
Very well.
So yeah, she's going to go to. Makud will have to come with unless he's okay with just letting her fly up to the bell tower.
I mean, if you're going to come to him to ask him to move the thing, he will come and move the thing. If you're
Yeah.
just going to go and fly, then you can go and fly if you want.
No. Yeah, she will ask Makud to accompany her.
Okay, and then Makud is pulled away from whatever minor thing he is doing to distract himself, and he will go walk with Mina.
Everyone else is welcome to join if they would like. But
Sorry, where are you
go-
going?
Bell Witch. I have a thing I want to ask her
yeah,
while
that
we're
was
there, so it's not. Yeah, okay. Does Brand come?
I think Bryn's kind of trying to avoid people or the group as much as possible
Okay,
and
just
keep to
Brand,
himself.
or just Abarashmina and Makud then. We go
So,
to visit the Bell
Yeah,
Witch.
you ascend the stairs. And you find the Bell Witch there. Her nose still in the book, and she's like flicking it through. And she's kind of like, she's standing over this, or she's over this pool of water, but she's not standing as she usually is. Her like veiled face is kind of bent down. She's sort of curled up above it, and the veil is kind of like what's the word, like spilling onto the book to some extent. And she sort of looks up when you approach, cocks her head to one side. Is
Has
it
it been-
time?
It is. Has it been informative?
It has been interesting. She'll like slowly place the book down on the floor. The things in this book, the horrors my witnessed, just given a sentence. Yet they change so much.
What has it changed for you?
I am this ghost now. Oh, I see what you're asking. She means the events in the book changed so much, but they've only been given a sentence.
Yeah,
I
as in
see.
like her temple is decrepit and she is.
Yeah, she's
an
a fucking
echo from
ghost
herself.
and all this
Yeah.
sort of thing. But
See, I thought it was seeing someone's perspective on what
No.
happened changed.
No, it was her history, her past has been largely
Yeah.
overlooked.
That was just me interpreting the sentence slightly different, the inflection slightly differently. Okay.
I think Makud would say something like it is her past. The paper words do not tell the truth.
they
or
tell
at
the
least in
truth.
problem.
But
There are some things for which there are no words to truly convey what transpired.
yes, I think so.
Are you alright if I return the book? I could ask to see if I could borrow it for longer.
No, thank you, Abrashmina. I appreciate your help very much. I do not need the
Abrashmina.
book back.
Abarashmina will take the book, There is something that I read in this book that only now I realize that might be helpful for something that we have been dealing with.
Yes.
And she pulls out the black gem with the Shazma soul in it. She's I obtained this from an evil man who had a collection of such things, and they housed great evils. There was a red one that he had that contained an ape-like demon. From the histories in that book, that is something that your order may have been familiar with. Do you know of a way of safely disposing of this?
She holds out a veiled hand for it.
And she'll like hand it over.
She brings it close to her face. And you can never properly see her expression because it's always hidden behind this shifting fabric. But you can see like there's some kind of movement in the face as though the eyebrows furrow. This is a vile thing. These creatures live to consume, reproduce, and destroy. If you truly wish to see it destroyed, well, there are ways. But the simplest would be to cast it into a void where no one would find it.
I do not know of any such voids. If it houses a great evil, I fear unleashing it to defeat it, because that will only allow it to return to whence it came.
If you... She sort of, like, shifts and kind of stands up slightly. There are more of these creatures than you could possibly fathom. It only takes one to infect a plane. So, if you truly wish to prevent that happening here, you will have to give it. And if, as it dies, you conduct a certain ritual our order came up with, you can have this creature and its soul scattered and destroyed, never able to return again. But that is not an easy thing.
Is that something that you can teach me?
Given time, you have done much for me. I will teach you this ritual.
And I can kill it.
Yes, good. That is the part that I had no fear of. She kind of gives you like a smile.
He smiles back.
Return to this place after a few days have passed, Abrishmina. I will teach you it then.
Abrishmina nods. I will return in a few days.
Thank you, child.
Do the workings of the clergy, do they bother you? Have any attempted to come up here?
She shakes her head, and like her neck kind of shifts sideways as she does. I have not been able to see their efforts so far, but they have not disturbed me.
And Rob, as a question,
I know what questions
what have they
coming.
done?
Yeah. So you go in and for the most part, it's not been long. They've like cleaned up. There's lots of rubble that's sort of gone. But they've sort of like moved out all the shit so they can actually see what needs properly rebuilding, and some like basic structures have kind of been put in place. They're not like those Amish people who can build a gigantic barn in like 4 hours, but they're
Yeah,
doing
no.
good work
Yeah.
and doing it quickly.
Abrashmina will describe what has happened.
That is very good news. And I hope that when the Monk of the Waste returns, he will find this place a good start to rebirth our religion.
Would it be alright with you if I borrowed the font? I could perhaps scry on him. Maybe we can see where he is at. Because I'm assuming like her little font where she's got like the little things would qualify as being something that Abrashmina could scry from.
Absolutely it would. That's awesome. She will say yes.
When I return in a few days, this is something we can do together.
Yes, of course.
Abrashmina will nod, and I will see you soon.
Goodbye, my friends.
Good nods to him.
Okay. That is Abrashmina things done.
I think that's
She returns
everyone.
the book.
I think that's everyone done their downtime things.
I would like to open an orphanage. No, I'm
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Yeah, just give me a few minutes to change up my spells before Pot Hydra things.
Yeah,
that
do
they
we
should
want to
have.
take a quick break?
A
Because I didn't
break?
really get one when I was gone for half an
Yeah.
hour. I was fucking speeding. I was going 28 and
That's
then
fine.
25. I was,
You don't understand, man. My stream's gonna end.
But officer, my D&D game.
You don't know what's at stake.
I'd be like, are you a fan of Matt Mercer? He's like, oh yeah, I am. I taught him everything he
Critter
knows.
unite.
He watches my streams to get his ideas, so, if you want there to be another episode of Critical Role, you should probably let me go.
I mean, he totes does. Oh man, Dan, do you remember some of the spells that I talked to you about?
Yeah, he definitely does. Like, they just had a whole arc with a really annoying Asimar that made me not want to watch, so...
Aww.
Kidding.
Aww.
You know that was kidding.
No,
I'll be
I
right back.
remember.
Dropping the mic.
Spells? Was it like protection from evil and good type things or
Yeah,
something like
I
that?
remember that, and then I did create water in
Yeah,
the
to
effort
fill
that maybe that might help. Oh, Magic Circle is going to be real useful when we decide to kill that Shazma whenever we get bored traveling through the desert.
Right.
That's a note.
I have to go, but I will
Okay.
be right back. Wait.
Trying to remember what spells I had.
Protection from pot hydras.
I mean, protection from evil and good. It counts. It's an elemental, and so that's going to be hella useful. For Makud, that's like
Is
thing
it an
number
elemental
one.
or is it a construct?
It's an elemental from the discussion I had with Rob. So if he takes that back from me, I will be very upset.
She'll yell. It'll be funny. I'm gonna message Rob right now.
Jade, I swear to fucking God.
What?
I don't know.
That's what I thought.
Okay, holy weapon or flame strike, y'all?
Holy weapon is probably immune to fire, or has resistance to fire. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's
So
why I
holy weapon will give you more single target damage, right? Flame strike is an area of effect. So be more for this
Yeah.
particular fight. It's better to put on somebody's weapon and have like
Yeah.
consistent high. I think you'll average better damage over time.
Yeah, yeah. Or mass cure wounds, because I only have one 5th level. So should I hang on to it for?
You're the healer, honey. I would go mass cure wounds, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about 5th level spells the first time I had
Yeah.
the spells. Spell evil and good.
I'm back.
EVILGOD.
It seems like trying to banish it would be cheating. Am I right?
No.
Sort of cheat the people out of a good fight, you know.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. That was my initial Makud fight. Like, it isn't very. I want to take this down like us. Yeah, we can go unprepared, but I want this to be good for our PR, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Friends are gonna dervish all over the fucking place.
That's what we want.
Does she
Give
just
the
like
people-
run with her swords out in front of her, like waving them wildly?
Yeah,
Dervish!
that's what she yells.
That's like her anime attack.
Hmm.
Welling dervish.
All the fucking
Fucking
flourishes.
good dervish. uh, speaking of hope, I don't think we're gonna be making a lot of wisdom saves.
I don't know, man.
I mean, hopefully not.
Maybe he's got like a fear aura that it exudes. I'm
Possibly.
sure
Well
Rob has put
then,
some thought into this.
well then, I will feel real bad whenever that turns out to be the case.
I'd just like to remind you that I have the circlet of heroism that can make us immune to fit and give us
Okay.
5 extra hit points. So
That is
Nice.
true.
Okay. And I was gonna protection from evil and good you, and you were gonna do the protecty thing for everybody.
I do that by hitting him. So as long as I hit
Yeah.
him, then yes.
Yeah. I'm sure there will be no problem with you hitting him.
I would hope not.
Shield of faith? No,
Orange.
not shield of faith. Blindness, deafness, maybe. That will be a good one, I think.
That
Okay.
has never been useful.
I mean, it got you a girlfriend.
Oh,
Do you remember the first date we had where you
oh my God.
remember
first
when I
deafness me?
remember whenever I met you and you couldn't hear me?
Mhm.
Oh my God.
It was bliss.
You all. Well, maybe not everyone. Just the two of you.
I don't give you a hard time.
That's why I took it back, man.
Just in character, I give you a hard time.
I left the perfect opening for someone to insult me about that, and no one took the bait. It was cool.
Mm. We're not in character. I'm not going to insult you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
I am super passive aggressive.
I'm not passive about it at all. I'm just aggressive.
Just aggressive.
I broke up a fight today in class. That was great. I broke up 2 yesterday.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, it's fantastic.
What's got him riled up?
Teenagers.
Yeah, how old
My
are
new
your
resource.
kids, Jade?
They're like majority of them are like 6th through 8th.
Okay.
I have a
Old,
couple.
small enough to not know any better, but old enough to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's fun. I have my own room now. They were just like, we need this, and I'm like, okay, I can make it work in like a week. Set up an entire classroom and get it running in less than a week. And I'm like, what have I done to myself? One of my
Were they
students.
like getting into fisticuffs or whatever?
Yeah, they were. They were
Good
taking
enough.
swings at each other. One of my students was like, "What's the blue like around your eye?" And I'm like, "Okay, what the fuck?" And I like looked at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, "It's the dark circles under my eyes from like setting up this fucking room."
I'm dealing with all of you.
Right? Thanks for pointing out exactly how tired I am.
It's like you never tell a bride she looks tired, never tell a teacher she looks tired.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what the fuck? What do you think? I'm a teacher. There's not enough coffee in the world to make this better.
Oh.
Is it time to kill a pot hydra yet?
I hope so.
Actually, I have these 5 other things I need to take care of. You'll be fine.
Hey guys, we can kill a chasma like at any time.
As soon as someone gets into another argument, Mina just throws down the Shazma. Fight! Fight for your lives.
We've got things to deal with.
This is our get along Chasma.
That's great, Jade. That's great.
Thanks, man.
For when you need to kill things together, guilt free.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are larger things going on. Shazma things.
Chasma things? Oh no. I've never seen more proof that Matt Mercer watches our games than that. We know you're watching, Mercer.
Shoo! Chase him with a broom.
Nah, it's fine. He can keep watching as long as I keep getting my cut.
Wait, what?
Let's just
Oh,
say
I'm
that.
suspicious.
Let's just say that 10% of all critical roles revenue goes to an offshore Swiss bank account, then through the Cayman Islands, and finally into the tax haven that is Guernsey. And so much dodgy tax shit has happened that I actually get a rebate of 20%.
I mean, Guernsey's not a tax haven.
No, it's not. It's a tax transparent zone.
Sure it is.
I mean, that's what they say.
Mm-hmm. So are we ready to kill a hydra or what?
Get killed by a 400? Yeah. I've just been sitting here thinking, oh, this has been absolutely pointless because there's no way they're surviving this pot fucking Hydra.
This is the way this campaign ends.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you can keep having drama with these characters if you want. Fine, sure.
Maku dies and he does like a Diablo style loot explosion. And over 2,000 gold and a giant axe like flies out of his body.
I pick it up with my right click.
So, you're all in guerrilla position, i.e., just standing behind the curtain, about to walk out into the Verkar. You can hear the crowd like thundering, and it sounds like the most intense storm you've ever heard. Except, Makud, you are just hit by these waves of reminiscence and nostalgia. You know the sound well, and it kind of washes over you. You hear a deep, powerful voice ringing out, magically amplified, hyping up the crowd for what is to come. And as you step out into the white fog, hearing your collective name, the virtues cried and chanted by the crowd, the sound is so heavy that it crashes off each other, and there's this kind of isolating bubble where everything seems to go quiet in amongst the chaotic noise around you. Sitting ahead of you, about 100 feet on the other side of the Vakar, you see a simple pot, maybe 6 feet tall, could easily fit any of you except Makud inside it. You've spoken to Kynlarden before then, and he kept his cards close to his chest. He wasn't about to tell you what you could expect, other than to say that he hoped you were feeling brave. And staring at this object, it's hard to imagine what it's about to come, and you're hit with this kind of wave of anxiety that nothing's going to happen, and the crowd is going to go home angry and feeling cheated. But then you see from the top of the pot starts to overflow with that familiar black sand, and it comes out in tendrils, and 4 of these tendrils snake off and become thicker and larger than the others, and begin to form these gigantic legs, like those of a hydra. The rest of the tendrils wrap around the pot and pull it up into the quickly forming torso of the hydra like a beating heart. And now the pot is obscured, and standing before you is a headless hydra. And 5 of these heads begin to spring forth from 5 of these long, thick tendrils. They are perfect, somewhere between a snake, alligator, and lizard. Wicked teeth and small black eyes that stare out at you. The skin of this thing seems alive, though the constant shifting of the sand gives impression of muscle and sinew. This is a long way and a far cry from Kynlarden's Lutomancy you've seen before. This gigantic black sand hydra fills most of you with a feeling of dread. You can see the heat wavering off it and the steam rising, and you can tell that this is going to be a fight that will leave you in severe pain. The Hydra begins to advance, and you begin to advance towards it, closing the distance to about 60 feet, where we will roll initiative.
Can I not move forward to 60 feet?
Sure.
Okay.
Have we all drunk fire-resistant potions before this point?
Were we expecting to fight fire?
Yes. This I know you weren't here for the last fight, but the black sand burns, and
I
it
see.
almost cost everyone their lives.
Well, then yes.
That's why we bought fire potions.
Yeah, it was a real dumb idea to find this thing.
So I imagine we already prepared for that.
Yeah. Yeah, you bought the potions. Yeah, you can have drunk them.
Okay.
Like as you're walking up or whatever.
21 initiative for up.
21.
So with my barbarian reroll, I got a natural 20. That gives me 23.
13.
He's been waiting for this fight a long time.
Yeah. Makud was
Finally,
already
we're
rolling
done
initiative
talking.
like a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
18.
Okay. Let me just roll the hydras. Okay.
Oh, sorry, 22. My initiative just went up.
No problem.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Makud, you're up first.
Okay. Makud shouts out to everyone in the audience. So you want to fight? When I last fought, this Vakar died. Now I fight again and it lives. Witness your champion! And he like just throws his arms back. One hand has the massive hammer, and he just roars up at this Hydra, and he just casts heroism to his group. So everyone gets 5 returning every turn, temporary HP, and you are immune to fear that this thing may or may well not cause.
Yeah, you feel like immediately emboldened, and there's this sort of thing where you're like, you're looking at it and you're nervous, but then you remember that you've got Makud on your side, and seeing him look entirely gleeful and not at all afraid bolsters you and your conviction.
He will point his hammer towards the giant creature and just shout, "Come, creature, to your end!" And the sand will like whip up, and more so than any other time when he was fighting in the arena, because he is much stronger now than he was before. He will rage with his bonus action, and there will be just this cascade of sand, and then as it kind of flies out towards the crowd.
Yeah, and they immediately go wild, seeing the new and improved Makud. And there's like huge cheers and shouts.
I'll close the gap, I guess. 40 feet or so.
Cool.
While doing this.
So you are 20 feet from this thing, and you can feel the heat pouring off of it. It's gonna hurt. But first, Declan.
So is there any cover, or is it wide open?
It's pretty wide open. There's a few kind of boulders and stuff, but they're close to the edges.
Okay. Is Makud threatening it yet?
Not yet. It's 20 feet away.
Okay. If I move, can I get with 60 feet just up behind Makud?
Yeah.
And then the pot hydra would be within 30 feet.
Yes. Yeah, it would.
So then I will. That's my bonus action, and my action is going to use. Declan will unleash the Sword of Haunting and emit a haunting chime.
Okay.
See if it is afraid of sound.
Let me just. So what does that do again? It casts the fear spell,
It's
right?
it's fear
Or is it-
effectively, yeah.
Is it a fear of... Okay.
DC 15 Wisdom saving throw. So if they're immune to fear, then they're immune.
Okay. Then 'tis immune, sir.
Ugh.
As 'tis a construct.
Is it a construct or? Oh, I thought it was an elemental.
It is both. We've
Well, never mind then.
yeah, we had to deal with this last time. I've since boiled it down to it is both a construct and elemental. So things that
Is
target
that something
both
I
of
was
those.
supposed to have known?
Well, you weren't there for the original one, but I think I was sort of musing it over during that time. So if you have something that specifically targets or favors or whatever elementals or constructs, both are
Is
in
it
effect.
an earth elemental? Because that makes a huge difference for Declan.
That's true.
So yeah, it was originally going to be an earth elemental, because that was how I was planning on getting Declan his ring powers.
Right.
But
Well, if I would have known that this thing would have been immune, I probably wouldn't have done that. But if you want to say it's done, that's fine.
well, I'm not sure you would have known as a character,
okay.
just because you've never interacted with these before, and the others
Sure.
didn't know that it was that. So
Okay, then that's Declan's turn.
all right, then it is the turn of the pot hydra. It rears back all of its heads, and you see it opens its mouth, and from behind it you can see like a large kind of lump of sand that shifts up its body, up each neck, and then fires from the mouth like a spurt of like very high pressure sand, and it is going to fire one at each of you and an extra one at Makud.
Attack rolls, dex saves.
Yeah, I'm just doing attack roll. So, Declan, that's a 14 to hit you.
Miss.
Bryn, 12.
Miss.
Fucking hell, these are bad rolls. Abrashmina, 16.
Miss.
Makud, 17.
That is my armor.
Yes, and Makud, 22. Okay.
It's Makood twice.
Thank
I'm guessing
fuck for
Declan
that.
just kind of hid behind Makood and just like.
He's like behind you to the right.
Bastard.
He's not like behind you.
Okay.
Okay. So, Makud, you take 14 fire damage from the first one and 20 fire damage from the second one, as these just spurts of burning sand just crash into you, and they don't, there's not that much force behind them necessarily, but they just hiss, and you can feel it burning your skin, and you have that sort of panic when you burn yourself, and you kind of stumble back, and it's like in and around your eyes, and you kind of shake off your kind of fur and your ears doing something to sort of flick it away from your face.
But we did do the potions, so he was resistant to all that risk?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I certainly took that potion. I knew it was
Good.
coming.
Good.
Bryn.
Can I get up into melee and attack it?
You may.
60
Yeah.
feet away.
Is it?
That was what described. That's where I
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
get
Sorry, it
that.
is 60 feet away. Yeah.
So I'll have
My
to
apologies.
move. No, that's cool. That's what I thought. I was just making sure. I'll have to move and then double move to get to it.
Yeah.
And that will be my turn.
Okay.
You don't want to bonus action anything? If you don't, that's fine.
No. My
Okay.
inspiration.
She's not that kind of bot.
Okay.
And finally, Mina.
Abarashmina is going to turn to Makud, who I'm sure is like right next to her still, because she. Wait, no, he moved up. Yes.
No, I moved 40 foot up.
40 foot up? Oh, great. Then I can't reach you with this.
Everyone's moved up except you.
Yep. Okay. Then never mind. I can't use my action for that. So I will use
I
my...
mean, if you told him, it's no different to him moving 30 feet to 40 feet. So, if that's what you wanted to do.
Yes.
I mean, it's-
Please only go 30 feet on your first round of combat, Makud.
Okay, I'll do it.
I mean, I suppose I could have cast the spell before the fight started, but that feels
All that.
because it does last for 10 minutes. But
Oh,
um,
well then that seems like preparation level spells. But
I will leave that
I
up
mean,
to
I
Rob.
didn't really give you a chance to prepare, so I'll say you can, and we will not recon Makood's turn without consulting the DM.
Okay, it's not. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then technically, it might change the damage that was just done to Makood, which is
it
why I'm
doesn't
leaving it
matter.
up to
Ignore
Rob.
what just happened to him, and we'll
Okay.
move on from there.
Okay, then you have protection of evil from good on you right now. So that means that attack rolls against him from an elemental will have disadvantage.
Okay.
And so he started off with that. He can also not be charmed or frightened or possessed. Not that I think that this is going to happen. That is going to happen, but it's also an effect. So I will use my turn then to sprout my wings and fly up and towards in 30 feet at an angle. Um, and that is my action and my movement.
Very well. Then we're back to the top, Makood. It is your go again.
Oh, bonus action, spiritual weapon. Ah, sorry, I forgot it. Could do that. Spiritual weapon.
Cool.
That can be cast within 60 feet, so that can hit it.
Sure.
Abarashmina is gonna try and get first blood. First blood? Maybe with a 17.
First blood.
17 hits.
Thank you for first blood.
Ooh, that's max damage on the radiance. That will be 13 points of radiant damage, and then because she sprouted her wings, that is extra radiant soul going to do another 9 on top of that. So
Nice. 22.
22 radiant altogether.
All right. And now it is Makood's turn.
Yes, sorry.
No problem.
Makood completes his run against the creature and will aim to smash some pots. Um, 15 and a 16 plus 10 for 25 and 26. Presume
Both
those
hits? Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, 17 on the first hit, damage wise. Sorry, I said 17, didn't I?
Yes.
15 on the next one.
Nice.
Some of... Oh, that is without me rolling the fire, which this thing may or may not be resistant to, so probably a good idea that I've separated it.
Yeah.
Intentionally, unintentionally. Plus 6 and plus 5.
Okay. So,
Is it reduced?
yes, the fire damage doesn't really seem to affect it. So yeah, if you guys could give me fire damage separately and slashing damage separately, that would be swell. So, Avrishmina's Ramiel blade kind of comes in and slices at one of the heads of this thing, and Makood, you batter it down. And as your final hammer stroke swings in, one of the heads just explodes, and the kind of wild neck like rears back, and there's a bit of this kind of burning sand that falls around, but none of it gets on you.
Did I hear correctly that the slashing damage was not as effective?
Yes.
Okay.
You see yes. You see this thing's lost a head. Declan.
So noticing that slashing damage is not so effective, Declan's gonna. Am I being threatened currently?
Not
Well,
personally.
no one's
It-
used slashing damage yet.
Oh.
Are you?
Oh, okay.
He
It
just
was
wanted
me
fire and
just
slashing
asking to
be
make
done
sure I get it separately, essentially.
Okay, I thought I missed something.
So
So now,
No.
bludgeoning radiance as well.
And you motherfuckers all use piercing anyway, so we're good.
now my short sword slashing.
Oh, is it? I
Yeah.
thought you were a rapier boy.
No,
no,
no.
he's short.
Rapier boy.
So I don't know that, so I'll do what I would have done and take a less effective attack. Yeah, so if I'm within... am I within melee range?
No,
You,
Oh,
you,
he's
you
20
asked to
20
hang
foot
back.
away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then fuck it. I'll just stay where I am. I'll stay behind Makud and I'll take a crossbow shot.
Makuda's moved in 20 foot, but you can stay relatively behind him, I guess.
Yeah.
But
So you're like 25 feet away, basically.
Yeah, okay. So I'll take like 10 feet forward and like 15 feet to the right. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I'm kind of going like at the diagonal angle. So I'm kind of like not in the same. I don't know if this guy's got like a breath weapon or something, but I'm trying to like move around his side. But I will. I get sneak attack because he's with a melee range of Makud, right?
and Bryn, but yes.
And Bryn. Yeah, so I'll just take a crossbow shot. That's not great. Can't imagine his armor is too high, but that's a 17.
Hits.
That'll be 66. This is all piercing damage. 5, 9, 13, 18, 27 points of damage.
27.
And I guess that's it.
All right. So, this thing, like the arrow just disappears in amongst the sand, but you see it like let out this kind of strange, not roar, as it doesn't have lungs or anything, but it's this strange kind of like hollering sound that echoes around the stadium and makes the crowd kind of shiver.
I'll load an acid bolt into my crossbow.
Okay.
When I'm done.
And then the Hydra with its 4 remaining heads is going to turn one of them on each of you again. And better roll decent. Okay. 28
Are these
on...
considered spell attacks?
No.
Okay.
28 to hit Declan.
That's a hit.
20, not natural, to hit Bryn.
That's a hit.
23 to hit Abrishmina.
That's a hit.
And 21 to hit Makud.
Is it a magical effect?
No.
Damn it. Okay.
Ouch.
Okay. So,
Can I use my reaction to lessen Mina's damage?
you may.
Cool.
Duh.
So, Declan, you take 18 points of fire damage.
I'm going to use my reaction to have that,
Sure.
and then it halves again.
Yes.
Because I have
Yeah.
fire resistance.
4. Bryn, you take 11. Abrishmina, I rolled an 8.
You take none of that, as a sandy minotaur takes the blow and probably crystallizes in front of you and then hits the ground, shattering.
Yeah, because it would have gone up like 15 feet in the air to do it, forming like the shield. So, yeah, that's dope.
And Makud, you take 19.
Sweet.
It will have disadvantage on its attack for Makud.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, I am slow in the uptake.
No worries.
Disadvantage on
True.
Makud.
Or a 30 with a natural 20. So,
Ouch. Well, the previous one was like 23 or something, so you hit.
9. Yeah, so it was 19 damage,
Sure.
which is
Down to 8.
for you have down to.
But it is a new turn, so that is reduced by another 5, so it's 3 damage.
Yeah. And then at the end of the Hydra's turn, you see there's like a pulse that's very, very thick that kind of runs up the severed neck. And you see it splits off into 2, and 2 more heads appear, totaling now 6 as it moves into Bryn's turn.
So Bryn also knows how to put on a show, so she's going to kind of use the tip of her rapier to kind of kick up some sand, and it's gonna kind of expand out into this blackish purple kind of cloud in an attempt to kind of settle. And I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire.
Awesome. This thing is not very dexterous. 5.
That's a fail.
So you see these shimmering lights that contrast beautifully against the burning black sand appear in front of this thing and around it. Anything else in your turn, Bryn?
Nope, that's my turn.
Okay, Mina.
I am going to use my bonus action, and Ramiel is going to slice into the Hydra's head for an 18 to hit.
18
That
hits.
with advantage.
Oh, no, it was not with advantage. That makes it a 20 to hit.
Hits.
13 plus 9 for... Because I rolled an 8 again, so 22 points of radiant damage.
22.
And I am going to... Mina is going to hold her action for when it loses another head.
Okay.
So she is flying closer to it within 30 feet of it or so.
Okay.
And is going to start doing the swirling her hands about, trying to coalescing a magic spell.
Yeah.
Blue light shimmering.
Okay. And back to the top then, Makood.
So, glowing Hydra in front of him. He created more heads the last time. He is going to try smashing a leg or something now.
The legs are hard to get to just by virtue of the fact that they're under a writhing mass of 6 heads. So you can definitely try,
Okay.
but it will not be easy.
So I can try hit a leg or a body or something, but it's mostly heads.
Yeah, this thing is mostly heads. If you try and go for a leg specifically, you will be rolling at disadvantage.
But I have advantage.
Yeah.
No, take out the head, because I want to see if what I have planned works.
Okay, fine. He'll strike the heads with advantage. He'll look to the leg and then refocus on the
Later,
head, I guess.
friend.
Great weapon master, by the way, because I might as well if it's advantage. That is 25 down to 20 and 28 down to 23 for the Great Weapon Master.
Both hit.
Uh, 25 and drop the dice I intended to use. 25 and 23 again.
Are those including the fire?
No, that is not including the fire whatsoever.
Okay.
I'm just gonna not
Dope.
bother. That is Great Weapon Master with the plus 10 to hit.
Okay. So
that
yeah,
is-
Makood, you smash in and lop off another head.
Sweet.
Average
I
Mina.
guess. More heads are coming.
So he lops off a head, and the magic. Oh God, whatever's happening over there, Declan, is scary. There was some sort of weird crackling, and then there was me coming through your thing, but super loud.
weird.
It was really weird. Anyways, Abarashmina is going to use her reaction and cast create water on the stump of the severed head. So that's I'm hoping this works because she's trying to keep the heads from forming again. So she's just going to dump 10 gallons of clean water uh just in an open container, and so she's going to like the open bit of like the
Okay,
next
yeah,
dump.
yeah. So,
It's
roll me 3d6, please.
3 what?
D6.
Okay. Oh, that is 12.
12.
Yes.
Okay, so you see the water just fall and like hiss on this thing, and you see some of the black sand turns back into the normal color and kind of tumbles out of the like portion of the neck as part of it collapses, and the Hydra writhes and hollers again, and no heads grow back.
So far, at least.
Mm.
Mm.
Declan.
Sorry. Hold on 1 second.
Makood
you
totally
having-
plays up every time he crushes one of these head pots, by the way, to the crowd. Like,
So it's there's only the one pot.
no, but I've smashed 2 pot heads now.
You smashed 2 heads.
Yeah.
Potheads.
Makood is a
Were the
zero
heads not
tolerance
pot
policy.
heads? Were they Hydra heads?
No, there's
In
only the
sand?
one pot. They are like
Right.
sculpted out of moving sand.
Right, okay. Well, every time he crushes a sculpted sand Hydra head, he will
Yeah,
play
Rob,
up for
you're
the
kind of
crowd.
arguing that like for no reason.
That was my intention, anyway.
I just think it's funny you're crushing potheads.
Yes.
These games are
are.
not about
Makood-
fun or being funny. It's about me going to tell my story. And I've decided that my pot hydra looks dope, not stupid with a head for pots.
This
I
is how
was
I've been
picturing a
imagining
Hydra
the
made
pot
out of
Hydra the
pots.
entire time. Not since the fight, but like building up to it. I imagined a Hydra, but instead of the Hydra heads with the fangs and everything, it was just pots.
So that's what
I
it was.
pictured the whole thing as
Like
like,
black
That's what it was
sound and-
originally gonna be. But then I was like,
Okay.
man, that's real dumb and not really a spectacle.
I
They
don't
would-
know. No, I
it
don't
would
know.
look-
How many of these people have seen a giant, like, 6-headed pot creature?
I mean, how many of these people have seen a fucking hydra?
No, exactly. But I still think it would have been a bit of a spectacle. It's something a bit different.
I
Definitely.
mean, they did. Most of the people probably watched the sandworm crash through the floor, so like a Hydra made of pots might have been like kind of second favorite kind of thing.
Ooh.
I mean, most of those people killed each other, so.
That's true too.
I mean, you're gonna bring him back because every time Makood starts stomping on sand, a sandworm shows up.
I mean, that's just science.
Like the only time that hasn't happened, there turned out there'd be a Rakshasa nearby. So
Makood is a human thumper.
Calls Shahilud. Anyway,
Anyways,
Declan's gonna. Do I have advantage from Fairy Fire?
Yes.
So?
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet. Well then, crossbow bolts. Here they come. So that's gonna be a 16 and a 17. So the 17 becomes a 25.
Well, both of those naturally hit.
Okay.
He's only shot once. That was with advantage.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
sorry, my apologies.
That's okay. But this is gonna be additional acid damage as well. Oof, that's bad. That's okay. Not a spectacular roll. 20 points of damage.
20.
And I'm gonna hold my distance for now.
Okay. So as your bolts kind of fly into the sand, they must have hit something vital inside, because you just see one of the heads doesn't fall, or it doesn't, explode or anything, but it just like collapses, with not enough sand to sustain a neck joint that you've kind of taken apart. But slowly the necks begin to rework themselves. But for now, you've destroyed another head.
Okay.
the Hydra is then going to bend and try and snack on Makud.
Schmick.
For a
Does the
22
amount
to
of
hit.
heads,
Pardon?
do the amount of heads affect how many attacks it has per round?
It does.
How the Hydra
Okay,
works.
and right now it has
4 heads.
3 heads? 4 heads.
Yeah.
Because we took out 2. One is permagon. Maybe permagon. Did it attack with disadvantage?
Yes. 22 to hit.
Sure.
Okay.
Next
Makud.
one.
We'll do your damage first because it's doing a different attack. So you take 12 piercing damage and 9 fire damage.
Okay. Because Makud has hit it, it's a disadvantage to hit everybody else.
Dope.
But it may not know that until it tries. I don't know. The sand is like raging around it
Yeah.
and distracting.
So
This is a new turn, so 5 is negated from that, so I only take 5 damage.
So, Declan with disadvantage, that's a 23 to hit you.
Yes.
Dis-
Trying to think if I can shield that. What is 6 plus 24? No, I can't shield that. Yes, it hits.
Bryn, disadvantage 22 to hit you.
That's a hit.
And a 12 to hit Mina. Damn, we're another natural 20.
That's a miss.
Alright, well, Declan, you take 20 points of fire damage.
I will use my reaction to lessen Bryn's hit.
And Bryn takes 10.
Okay.
I will use my reaction to take half. So Declan sort of just drop and he gets a little singed probably from the trail of heat.
Yeah, you're just kind of able to step out the way, so only half of the full force.
The impact misses him, but the heat still singes.
Yeah.
I've managed to defend 7 of Bryn's hit of the 10.
So she takes 1.
3.
Yeah, but
You
it's
said 10.
half because of the resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's a concentration check, Bryn.
Uh,
Prairie fire for 1 damage.
Well, but she has to be a 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a 10 on the die, so it's good.
Dope.
Well, you could have a minus. Just double check.
It was
Yeah.
I was gonna laugh. I was gonna be oh, that's shit if you lost concentration after all of that over 1 damage.
It's a
Looking at her eyebrows.
Constitution is my dump stat.
So the crowd, not knowing that you've sort of been doping for performance-enhancing drugs to make yourselves more effective in this fight, just are currently sort of seeing you as these invincible, monstrous beasts. Where Bryn just takes a full fucking blast of this black sand and just seems to ignore it with almost no reaction.
Because of Makud's little sandy thing, is his protection gimmick.
Yeah.
I'm imagining it hits her and she brings the hands up in the cross pose and the sand comes up with, and then it flashes behind her whenever she drops her hands again, all Bollywood style.
Hell
And
yeah.
then the camera zooms in and she twitches her eyebrows on hell yeah.
And one of them is very slightly smoking from that 1 damage.
I wouldn't throw my hands up like that.
Jazz,
Cooler than that.
Okay, fine. But you did do the hell yeah.
I mean, maybe.
You just stare into the fire.
at the end of the Hydra's turn, it regrows 2 heads.
Oh, damn.
From the stump that Declan disabled,
Yes.
or from both?
The stump that Declan disabled.
So it's back up to 6.
It is. I'm
Okay.
keeping track. Bryn.
3 slices with advantage. And some well, we'll see if I hit. That's a 20, 30, and a 19.
Yeah, all are gonna hit.
All right. That is going to be 16 damage with using slashing flourish.
Okay.
9 damage. 7 plus 2 points of poison damage.
So 1599 was that?
16 slashing, then 9 damage, and then
Yeah,
7
yeah,
plus
16,
2
9.
damage.
Yeah. Okay.
Poison.
Okay. Mina.
It is not moving at all, yes?
No, it's fairly stationary at this point. It's not a very mobile creature. It's just sort of big and can reach long distances.
Okay. All right. Abarashmina is going to clutch her holy symbol, and from her, like from where her spiritual weapon is, the sword of starlight is going to split into two, and like the original one, it kind of like solidifies, and Ramiel appears in its place, holding it, visible to all as I'm casting Guardian of Faith.
Dope. What the hell does that do?
Any creature hostile to you that moves within space within 10 feet of the Guardian for the first time on a turn must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. The creature takes 20 radiant on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. The Guardian vanishes when it has dealt a total of 60 damage.
Okay.
I will leave that up to you if each head counts as a hostile creature, since they're all like separate targets. So if he can, on the Hydra's turn, attack several, I'd be cool with that, but not expecting. It's just guaranteed 60 damage in exchange for a 4th level spell slot. So no, yeah, 4th level spell slot.
Well,
So that,
as you know, the fairy fire only got the whole thing in one, and as Maku's thing got the whole thing in one. No.
okay. I mean, it just means it goes away faster, or if it has multiple heads
Yeah.
to attack.
Yeah.
But that was all.
But it
So,
will do a save now, yeah? Or is it on its turn?
would it start on its turn? So
Okay.
basically, Ramiel is visible to all within the Vakar. You know, the
He's loving it.
angel of the White Cliffs. Yeah, of course he is.
No one knows who
And
he is, but they think he's awesome.
yeah, and the twin star blades that is now my spiritual weapon is going to slash out at it for a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
And I rolled an 8 again, so that is 23 damage once again. Radiant.
Okay.
And that is my go.
Yeah.
Trying to keep myself within like distance of everyone. I don't know how like everyone's kind of laid out. Bryn and Mac are up close, right?
You see,
and then
yeah. So you see this Hydra who has just lost another head. Is now, essentially, like standing right there. There's Makud right in front of him. You're kind of flying above. Declan's off to the right hand side, and Bryn is up in his face as well.
Don't suppose anyone else has any cold or water things, do they?
Yeah, no. Just
Okay.
looking through my giant list of shit that I've built and nothing.
That ice slurry would have been.
Yeah, right.
Oh well. Or that. Do you still have that ice elemental gem or the air?
I have a fire elemental gem.
Oh, that's right. I lost the air elemental.
Yeah. The
I
only
got-
ice thing you had was the fish eggs.
It was It was the air elemental gem that I lost whenever we went when we got arrested.
Yeah.
Mm.
McCood.
McCood hits it with his lava maul. Is this thing like hot to the touch, basically made
Yeah.
of black sand?
Yeah,
Burny,
it is,
burny.
but it's not like, it's not causing fire damage when you hit it.
Okay. I'm just gonna ask, would it take my action to like climb on top of it, or is it something I can do with bonus actions?
That's gonna be your action,
Okay.
I'm afraid.
He's gonna carry on hitting these heads in front of him then, if they present
McCood's
themselves
playing
as targets.
whack-a-mole.
Yeah. I was just trying to avoid the obvious target, but they are really obvious. So, Great Weapon Master again, while I have advantage. That is 26 down to 21 and 28 down to 23.
Hits. You just muted yourself down?
24
Okay.
damage. And I'm rolling like really mediocre for damage. 15. So 24 and 25 damage from the Great Weapon Master.
Okay. You see it loses another head.
So yeah, I imagine he's just going whole ham on this. Like every time a new head presents itself, he just cracks the thing, and Bryn is like dancing around him, striking maybe more strategically. Yep, that is basically his go.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Sorry, just doing some math. Yeah. Yeah, so you smash off another head, McCood, and it like crumbles apart in your thing. It's very satisfying against your maul. Declan.
Excuse me. So just so I'm clear, pretty much every time we cut off one of these things' heads, two come back.
Yes.
And the only thing that has prevented that has been water.
Yes. And there have been no crabs in this fight so far.
Crabs.
You know, you just got to study up on your Hydra materials, and then you'll understand.
I guess so.
Reference rope.
Thanks, Dan.
I mean, I kind of don't have a whole lot that I can do. Can I? Okay. So Dylan, Declan has a bag of alchemical odds and ends.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see if I can, on the fly, spend my whole turn trying to just concoct something that will help me, like a satchel I can throw in one of its open wounds and prevent it from regenerating?
I mean, you have like a water skin.
Sure. I'm thinking. I mean, will a water skin would stop it?
It would definitely go some way, depending on how much water you had. But like, I don't know if you could just fabricate dry ice or whatever.
I mean, I've got a bunch of magical and quasi-magical shit. Like, if I could take an alchemy roll and see if I can, concoct something that would shut down its regenerative abilities for a period of time.
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think you could.
Don't think you do it.
Maybe
Okay.
do that in 6 seconds. Like, because you'd have to get out your stuff and mix stuff. I just think 6 seconds is a bit.
Well, I mean, even if it was multiple turns, because there's just not much else I can do. I have a water skin, but I mean, it's a water skin. It's bottle of water.
Yeah, I mean, like I get what you're going for. It's just you know, like
If I can't do it, I can't do it. I'm just
Yeah,
not sure what else I can do.
I do feel bad saying no because I think it's cool, but I don't think it's viable. You know, like even a minute in you know if you're doing chemistry or alchemy or whatever isn't that long, but that's 10 rounds.
Sure. Okay. Well, I guess I will shoot it with my crossbow. Natural 20. That's nice. For what it's worth. And we double dice, right?
Yeah.
So this is another acid bolt, so that's going to be 16d6. Ooh, that's good. 9. 20, 25, 28, 39, 39, 42, 46, and that was 10 rolls. I'm rolling 2d6. Goddamn. Are you writing down the damage? That was 42. And
Yeah,
that was
mhm.
10d. That was 10d6. So I roll 3 more times. And then another 8. So that's 8, 20. And then an additional 29 points of damage.
It's 71 total.
Plus 4 is 75.
Okay.
Ow.
It's real nice when you sneak attack when you get a critical.
Yep.
So you see another head crumble and collapse. And this thing has only 3 remaining. One of which is going to try and eat Makud.
Okay.
Does it have disadvantage?
Yes, it has a disadvantage to hit me and a disadvantage to hit the others because I've been
Yeah.
hit.
So 22 to hit you, Makud.
Jesus.
Hits.
13 to
hoping
hit Bryn.
Misses.
And it's going to fire a sand blast at Abrishmina for an 18.
Misses because of my breastplate. Yay.
Alright, so Makud is the only one who takes damage.
Oop.
So
Full-on
you
brute
take
protection.
19 piercing damage and 11 fire damage. And you see this thing.
Okay.
5 and
Yeah.
yeah.
You see this thing grow back its heads. And it is writhing and growing. You see it's like from under it, it is inhaling more sand. As this thing is now up to 9 heads.
Dexterity saving throw.
Hold on. Just doing some maths. Okay. Sorry, what was that?
Dexterity saving throw as Ramiel slices into it.
Oh, yes.
It's Bryn before you, by the way.
Yeah, but that's
This is
at the start
happening
of
on
its
the
turn.
Hydra's turn.
Okay.
Should have happened before
8.
it hit.
Yeah, my apologies.
It takes 20 radiant damage. So Ramiel slices into
Yeah.
it.
All right. Now it's Bryn.
All right. Let's do some of this with advantage. Fantastic. Love it.
You sounded so sincere.
18, 20, and 1 second. Go back. 21.
All hit.
Fantastic. I'm gonna gonna do another slashing flourish. 14 points of damage on the first one.
Okay.
Another 14 points of damage on the second one. 13 points of damage. And 1 point of poison damage.
All right. Yeah. So, you thankfully do not remove a head this time. So far, anyway. But the Hydra is just like this writhing mass of tentacles that are all getting in each other's way, and it is like bearing down on you and threatening to engulf you.
If do I have another option? But I mean, so I haven't been calling shots at its head, but I destroyed them anyway.
Yeah.
So
if you'd like to opt to actively avoid destroying the heads, it's a disadvantage. Was the
okay? So like a center of mass body shot.
Yeah.
Straight roll because of the fairy fire.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mina.
Going to hold no, going to use my action to you channel divinity, path to the grave. The cursing that creature, so no, I'm going to do my bonus action spiritual weapon first. 25 to hit.
Hits.
Another fucking 13 plus 9 again for 22 points of radiant damage.
22.
Because apparently this gargoyle D8 only rolls 8s. And then my action will be to channel divinity, path to the grave. Next attack, it will have vulnerability too.
All right.
Abarashmina points a finger, and with thaumaturgy, for flavor, we'll do say in a booming voice that he who watches has seen this creature's end, and to try and rile up the crowd.
Yeah, and they you see lots of flashing he who watches pins and stuff as people grab them and sort of hold them up.
John 3:16.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
McCood.
I will continue to reckless. By the way, I've been rolling concentration for every time you hit me, and he hasn't failed yet.
Baller.
Advantage. That is 28 minus 5 for 23, and 26 minus 5 for 21.
Hit.
First one, you're going to deal double damage.
I shall hopefully roll high. That's not bad. Including the great weapon modifier, presume?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's vulnerable,
Okay.
so it's everything.
Yeah, including the modifier.
That is 27 doubled to 54.
54.
Oof, Jesus, what was that?
Abarashmina, Makud power mode.
So, McCood,
That was one attack, but yes.
don't bother rolling the next one.
Okay.
You come crashing through, and you kind of batter aside a few of the heads, and you lay another strike in, and you see this big kind of clump of sand burst off, and then another the other way until the pot sits in front of you, churning sand in the center of this mass. You've kind of smashed your way through into the pot, and you can see heads enclosing behind you. And you raise your hammer and bring it down on the pot, and it cracks in two with this hollow, resounding thrum that kind of sends a ripple through the sand of the car and into the crowd. And there's a huge explosion of black sand that quickly cools, and now not being superheated by the magic of the pot, that kind of plumes up. And there's this moment where everything is pitch blackness, and then sunlight begins to kind of fade back in as the sand settles, until when your ears are finally able to make out sound again, you can hear the roaring of a feverish crowd bathing in the magnificence of Amar Utu, his foe vanquished.
So, while the cloud is still in the air,
Yeah?
Declan's gonna sink into the ground and disappear.
Very well. And as the crowd roars and you all kind of stand in the center and the announcer screams and shouts your praises, we will end the session there.